Good morning.
Hello, hello. We're in the third week of Advent now.
And music is on my mind. I just love the music of Advent.
You do.
And this week it's Rejoice is the theme. Rejoice. And one of the most ancient hymns of the church comes from the 14th century. O come, Emmanuel. And it goes like this. O come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel. Right? But there's the sixth stanza that really struck me this weekend. O come, O day spring, come and cheer our spirits by your advent here. Disperse the gloomy clouds of night, and death's dark shadows put to flight. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to you, O Israel. It's one of my favorites. It's kind of a haunting sound.
It is.
But it also is rejoice, rejoice, rejoice.
Rejoice.
In the darkness, in the gloomy clouds of night, and death's dark shadows put to flight. Rejoice. And then you were mentioning this one. You like this one.
Yes. Yeah. The rejoice, rejoice, believers. Rejoice,
Rejoice, believers, and let your lights appear. The evening is advancing, and darker night is near. The bridegroom is arising, and soon is drawing nigh. Up pray and watch and wrestle, at midnight comes the cry.
The watchers
On the mountain proclaim the bridegroom near. Go forth as he approaches with alleluias clear. The marriage feast is waiting, the gates wide open stand. Arise, O heirs of glory, the bridegroom is at hand.
a lovely image
rejoice,
of rejoicing and party, and boy, that whole feast thing is such a strong image of the coming of the Christ, how the kingdom of heaven is experienced.
Yes.
A big party.
Yeah. Well, that is so cool. I love that line. The marriage feast is waiting. The gates wide open stand.
That's
There's
right.
nothing holding you back. What's keeping you back?
Just step
Because
in.
it's here for you. Just step into it.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is because we're celebrating, the bridegroom is like the wedding of heaven to earth again. The restoration of the new heavens and new earth is what we're singing about and praying about. That is way beyond any of the pettiness of things going on the planet at this very given moment, because God is doing this and heaven and earth are coming together. So rejoice, and it's because it's a celebration.
Yeah.
And I'd love that. The marriage feast is waiting for you. The gates are wide open. Come on in. Come on in and rejoice.
Yeah, this incarnation of God amongst us and all, and has held in that, these events. And, what is that? It is that acknowledgement of our basic spirit nature, that we are spirit mostly. Most all of us is spirit, and spirit that comes from this joyous God, the God who laughs.
At all of our fretting, at all of our judging, and all of our worrying about stuff.
Yes, and all of our
whatever we're worrying
pretense
about.
that we are somehow powerful without Him. Outside of God, we have no power.
So you can rejoice as the night is getting darker, and this is this is so symbolic of the season, because the days are still getting shorter until the winter solstice, right?
Yeah.
And in some cultures, they believe that they had to light the Yule log to bring back the sun because it was dying. But the good news in this, see, the Christians took that and they said, no, the sun is arriving. As it gets darker, that's your sign to pay attention, because the Son, S-O-N, of God is arriving. Soon he draweth nigh.
And the other thing too, that Advent is also a time when we talk about preparation, and really the best preparation is to get into joy.
Oh gosh, yes.
Rejoicing prepares the way of the Lord.
Oh yeah, that's a different way of looking at it. My rejoicing is what is preparing the way, not my whining and complaining.
No, or my self-flagellation or
Oh yeah,
any of
because
that.
I'm so far away from.
bad.
Yeah.
And which is also pretty egoic thought, isn't it?
Yeah, it
To
is.
think how my badness has thwarted God's will.
Yeah,
Heck
yeah,
no. God's will is being fulfilled all the time. And I can rejoice and participate in that. That is what God intends. And so it's like, oh, well, all right, I'll get joyful and let Christ come in my heart. I laugh at how silly I can be.
This is this is the reason the third week of Advent the candle is pink. It's pink. Rejoice, celebrate, be happy.
Something different.
Yeah, and
No
it's
more
kind of like
tears.
right. And so, there's reason to be happy, to rejoice, because this is what's coming. And not just Christmas is coming, which is wonderful, and we're excited about all that. A lot of us, some of us dread it, but most of us, there's things about Christmas I just love. But it's the wedding of heaven and earth again, the reconciling of all that is back to what God intended in the first place. And that's what we're rejoicing about. Even in the midst of things we don't agree with or don't like, particularly right now that are going on around us, there's something bigger going on. Get your sights raised to that.
Well, I think some of the stuff that you just threw off this comment that there are things that people don't like about Christmas, and those are not things of the things of God about Christmas at all.
No.
Those are cultural things, family
Having to buy
things.
presents for everybody and wondering whether they're going to like them or not.
The different demands we put on ourselves, that has nothing to do with what God is doing at Christmas. The coming of the Prince of Peace, a wonderful counselor.
So rather than, I got to get this house cleaned up and looking perfect and good because la 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 la, no, I'm doing that because it's a celebration of what is to come. So I decorate my house with all this beautiful stuff because the bridegroom is arriving. The God is coming to be with us. The heaven and earth are going to be wed again for all time.
Yeah, and so the activities of Christmas, preparations and all, or really our whole life, we're called to be rejoicing in them. And if there's something that doesn't give you pleasure, don't do it.
That's a good idea.
Right. It's
All
not.
right.
And if you are going to do it with joy.
Oh, okay.
With pleasure, with that savoring, that wonderful experience of being taken care of by God.
Yeah. Would you mind praying for us?
Not at all. Oh, Holy One, this is a most amazing season. It's with us all the time, but at this time of the year, it heightens our awareness of your precious care for us, sending your Spirit in the form of Christ for us to know and love, embrace, and be with. We thank you for that, and we can't help but be happy. In the name of the Christ, amen.
Amen.